hello, beautiful souls out there. I hope you're able to get out in nature like Starlight is. Woo! Yeah, so Starlight is out here. Wow, Starlight, what's up with you? I'll tell you what, I feel a whole lot better drinking my coffee now. What? Because cold turkey. Do not go cold turkey on coffee. So Starlight's going to start all over again and wean off of coffee. So anyway, that's why Starlight is feeling so good. It's been like 2 weeks of Starlight feeling like crap. So I'm back. So anyway, I love you so much, and big, huge thank you to all of you who have been here, loving, supporting Starlight, and also thank you for those of you who leave Starlight messages. So thank you so much. And I appreciate all of you out here who have been out here loving, support, and staying. You know, you're here with me. And I love you all so much. And I hope you're getting out in nature like Starlight. I hope you're being gentle with yourself and others. It's so important. Please, you know, this is how you're going to, you know, be that change that you want to see in the world, and that's about doing the inside work, you know, working on yourselves and loving yourselves and not being hard on yourself. And the list can go on and on and on. But anyway, besides that, if anyone would like to send any love donations to Starlight, you can through my Cash App on my YouTube channel, and I will have that information here. Ping! There it is. And anyway, before I start this video, hello, my name is Starlight. Welcome to my YouTube channel, and you can find me on YouTube, and that is at Starlight, and that is Kathy with a K Dingman. Plus, don't forget you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, plus give me a thumbs up, and you can also leave a message down below, beep, 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 and you can share my videos with your family, your friends. Don't forget to ring the notification bell, and you can check out my playlist. Plus, you can find me on Instagram at 1995 Starlight, or on Facebook, and that is Kathy with a K Dingman Starlight. Now today it's about you're too busy. You ain't got time. You're too busy to do this. You're too busy to do that. You're too busy. Let's face it, you're just too busy. So that's what it is. It's about people that, you know what? They're too busy to spend any quality time with themselves. They're too busy to get alone with themselves. They're too busy to work on themselves. They're too busy I'm talking about the most, you know, to even spend any time with God. I kind of should have started off with that, but that's okay. The shouldas I got to get rid of. But I'm too busy to spend any time talking with God and praying to God. I'm too busy. So it starts with God first, because this is how the ordering goes, is God first, then you. Okay, so you're too busy, you know, asking God for help. And then you wonder why your life is the way it is, because you're not taking the time out on things that matter, on people who matter. I see this all the time, all over, you know, is, and then you're too busy. You're too busy. Why are you too busy? You know, where's your time being spent? You're too busy that you can't get out in nature with yourself, you know. Spend some time somewhere in the daytime to get that alone time. Whether you have kids or not, whether you have a family or not, we can, you know what we do? We make time for things that we want to make time for. You got time to do that, but you don't have time to do what's important. God's important. This happens all around the world. People don't have time for God until the shit hits the fan. Then they're out there crying to God. They don't spend any time waking up in the morning with God, talking to God, praying to God, thanking God, saying, grateful for this, I'm grateful for that. Thank you, God, for the blessings in my life. They don't have time for God. Or there's people, you know what they do? They pretend. I was there. Yeah, I was there when I was in the church. You know, I am not religious, I am spiritual. So when I say that, I had to let go of going to church. There's a lot of fakeness going on, you know, being more concerned about people seeing that you're praying, you know, and then you're like, what do I say? You know, they're out there, you know, like, I got to put this show on. I got to impress people at the church. You know, like the pastor would have like this great message, you know, and putting a guilt trip on people that they should come up to the front, you know, and they should get on their knees and pray to God. How many do you think of those people that went up front were really serious and they were doing it not to be seen of people? A lot of people at the church, and no matter where you go, is wearing a mask. They're faking it, thinking that they're making it, but they're not. They think they're fooling people. They think they're fooling the pastor. They think they're fooling the people at the church. They might. They might think that they're, you know, fooling their family or their friends. They could. But you'll never be able to deceive God. You know, you cannot trick God. You cannot, like, pretend with God. God knows you more than anyone, even more than you know yourself. So you complain about your life. How come I can't be where she is? How come I can't be where he is? Comparing yourself with other people on where they are. But you don't even want to take a time with God and ask God for help. Or even, you know, I pray to the archangels, like Archangel Michael, for help. You could pray for Jesus to, you know, get help. You know, because that's a big thing with people, is that, you know, you to pray to Jesus for help, but you don't even want to do that. You know, you don't want to ask for help. You don't want to. You're too busy making money, going out and getting more hours. Why do people do that? I recently met some lady not too long ago. She's like, you know what? I work 2 jobs. Well, that's her belief system, that she's got to work 2 jobs. I believe in God, but I got to work my ass off, Starlight. You don't understand. I got to work 2 jobs. Where's the faith? You got to have faith and trusting that God is going to take care. No, you know what? I trust in God. Well, God doesn't want you to go out to work 2 jobs. People say they're too busy. I'm too busy, God. God, I'm sorry, but I'm too busy to spend time with you. Do you only go to God when you need something, and then the rest of the time it's blank, you know? No, like, you know, you got what you wanted, God gave you what you wanted. No, like, thank you, or, you know, you went on your merry way and totally left God in the dark, you know, totally left him way behind you and went back to the same old routine and the same old things that you were into. It happens. It happens a lot where people don't have time to even talk to God. Or there's people out there, you know what they do? They go to church and they're faking it. They're faking it. They're comparing themselves with other Christians who could be faking it too. And they think, hey, I want to be like brother so-and-so. I want to be like sister so-and-so. So I'm going to fake it, you know, out here. You know, I want my pastor and all the people think I'm a person, you know. But when you're alone or when you're with your family, they might really see the true version of who you really are. But at the church, you put this mask on, you know, and at the house you can even have a mask on, a different kind of mask, you know, trying to deceive people, making them think that you're somebody that you're not. Even on social media, there's a lot of people faking it on social media, like, sorry about this noise, on Facebook. It's like a freaking, it's crazy. I do know people, and I have not been on Facebook in so long because I'm working on myself. I don't have time to sit there and compare, you know, everybody's life, you know, and see what they say on Facebook, you know, and compare that to where I am. You know, if I post something on my Facebook, it's inspirational stuff. It's to help people. It's to inspire people. Or even on Instagram, there's a lot of people, they're faking it. They got time to go on social media to be fake, but, you know, they got time to go out and spend time with people that are wasting their time. But they don't have time with God. They don't have time with themselves. Hang on, Starlight's got to get her legs in a different position here. People are so busy with things, you know, out there that, like I said, working extra time, you know, extra hours, and then, you know, a family member calls up that really loves and cares for them. And you know what? They don't have time. Hey, sorry, but I'm busy. I'm too busy to talk to you because why? What's on the scale, right? You got the scale. I wish I had one here. I used to have one. Is what's more important, making a dollar bill or spending time with people who really care and love you? What's more important? Is it the money? Is it the money? And then you wonder why things are going the way it is. See, that's the God of this world. It's about money. It's about getting more and getting more. It's not about having a relationship with God. It's about, you know, a lot of people, you know what they do? Hey, you know what? They're in a fear mode. I want to retire at a young age. I got to do this now. I'll tell you what. All that money and all those hours that you're putting in, you might think, hey, this is how I got to do it. I got to, you know, anything could happen from here before you even retire. Imagine all the years that you put in, focused on your retirement. And before you even get to that time, some horrible thing happens. Whoosh, takes all it away. And now you look and realize how many years you've been focused on building the retirement, where all the people that meant something to you, you put them on a back burner, you know, because money was more important than spending time with people who really cared and love you and wanted to help you. There's times that, you know, we got people out there, they love us and we want to help them out, but you know what? They're too busy. That's how this whole matrix stuff works. They know things about what's going on in this reality and this matrix and this stimulation that you have no clue about. It's like we're in a movie here, a video game, and you know, it's like they could see, oh, you know, this person, you know, we got to do something, and you know, it's like somebody's out there trying to help them, and they really care for them, and they really want to help them out. Well, you know what? Give them a job, give them some money, you know? That way they'll go for the money, and over here, this person over here that wants to help them out, like they got that lifesaver, you know, like for swimming, they're throwing the lifesaver out to them. Hey, I want to help you out. I see that you're struggling. You know, you could get there where you're going in a better way, but things pull them away. So then they never can get that wisdom, and then they never can get those that stuff that they really need to help them out later on. because they're too busy. They're too busy chasing the dollar bill around. There's, and then they lose out on opportunities in that job there. What they thought, oh, I got to do extra hours. I need more money. It's to the point that it's never enough. And not only you got people out there, you could know somebody right now that they're reaching out to you, but you're like, hey, I ain't got time. So you're really, in a reality, you're saying that you don't mean nothing to me. The money means more to me than you mean to me. So I'm going to go out and work. I ain't got time for you. Even though these people care and love you, you ain't got time for them. But you're missing out. God has a way of order, God first, you, then your closest ones. Now you don't even have time, for the holidays to spend with your loved ones. You could have been spending time with your loved one on Valentine's Day, but no, you'd rather be out working. You'd rather be out there chasing the dollar bill than spending time with your loved one, building that relationship, And people do, you got to be careful. You could have people out there telling you, yeah, go get those extra hours, but you're not even enjoying your life. And you got to be careful because people. Hang on, Starlight's thirsty. I'm not hungry. I just ate, but you got to be careful because there's I had a deal recently, but I did the right thing. There's times that people are going to be out there and they're going to want to give you a deal. Like, hey, Starlight, I have a deal for you. If you go this way, hey, you can get, have all this. But you got to let that go. You got to let that go in order, you can't have your cake and eat it too. Just like when I had my business, I had, people think I'm crazy. I don't care what people think. Because I don't answer to people, I answer to God. God put me out here because this is the end times. This is the time. What I'm going through right now, God's putting me and other people through these things so we can learn stuff. So, when the shit hits the fan, when it does, there's no accident that I'm in my car, living in my car. But years ago, I had the choice to have my cleaning business that was falling apart. I physically couldn't handle it anymore. It was wearing me out. Or to start the YouTube channel. I couldn't have them both. Helping to reach people or cleaning toilets. Get me? The money was there, but it was slowly slipping out of my hands. I physically couldn't handle it anymore. And if God wanted to, just like many times having that business, God could put me right back in the hospital again and I'd be all over again. Starting all over again. Not getting any, spinning my wheels. And that's when you got to really pay attention to what God is telling you. Forget about what people are telling you. What is God telling you? When you answer to God and you do what God wants, you don't lose. And I'm not here to tell you that it's going to be easy. No matter what route you take, it's not going to be easy. But the one path that you take, you'll be happy when you do things going the way God wants you to do it. So be careful about being too busy. Hey, I'm too busy to work on my relationship. I'm too busy to spend time with my kids. I'm too busy to help them out. I'll put it on somebody else. I'll tell you what, that's where a lot of abuse comes from. That's where a lot of kids feel sad inside because they see that mommy and daddy are too busy, that they don't want to take the responsibility. They don't want to take the, the full responsibility that comes with being a parent by being there for them, not dropping them off to who knows who, because they don't want to deal with the stuff at home. There's a lot of that going on in the world. We'll drop you off at grandpa's and grandma's house so we don't have to deal with it, let them, I don't have time to bring up my kids. I'm too busy. I'll let the school take care of them. Drop them off at the sports. Drop them off over here. When COVID came out, I thought, really at first I thought it was a horrible thing, but really it was a really great thing because parents were stuck with their kids. Isn't it horrible that I got to say it that way? We have nowhere to drop you off at. And that's why I made a video yesterday about, are you thinking about, having a baby? That's why it's so important, So why are you too busy? Figure it out. Why are you too busy? Is the one thing that you're too busy, is it more important than spending time with your children? The thing that you're too busy doing, does that mean more to you than spending time with your wife or your husband? What is it that pulls you away where you're too busy to spend time with people or even working on yourself? Is that more important than working on yourself? Is doing that more important than spending time with your wife or your kids or your husband? Or family that are there loving and supporting you? So anyway, I really hope you get a lot of help from this, because later on, when we're too busy and we're not there for our kids and our family, when you lose it all you're going to be having left is that, that money that the money meant a lot to you, and you'll be empty inside. So it takes a lot of disciplining to say what is more important. Starlight, you're right. What is more important? Because there's times when you lose your family, that's it. There's no going back. There's, it's done. So you got to really understand what's more important. Why are you too busy to spend time with your family? Instead of jumping to the boss, because you got to be careful. People do this. They work with people all the time. They will say, hey, you're doing an amazing job. You want more hours? And they got the little horns on their head. I'm telling you. Hey, you know what? We really like you. You're doing wow, we're so impressed with you. Hey, can you work this Sunday too? Once you screw up one time and say you're going to work, on a weekend when you weren't scheduled to work that weekend, it's hard to get back out when you get stuck on a weekend job. Now there you are. Don't have time with your family, the ones who matter. When the boss says, hey, you want to work overtime on the weekend? Say, oh, sorry, boss, but I'm too busy. I got a family. That's when God blesses us right there. Most people think I got to chase that dollar bill, though. So anyway, think of what's most important. Is it the boss, pleasing the boss all the time, getting more dollar bill? Or is it the family? Or you? Spend time with, God, you, family. The ones that are closest, your close friends. Tell the boss, you know what? I'm content right here. I got a lot on my plate right now. I'm a family man. I'm sorry, boss, but I'm too busy. So anyway, I love you so much. This is Starlight. I hope you enjoy this video. I love you. I make these videos because I love you and I care. And it's not always easy and it's not always pleasant. But the truth will set you free. It could piss you off, but it will set you free and it will set you on a good way. I love you so much. It's Starlight. Namaste, Starlight. thank you for watching my video. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, plus give me a thumbs up, and you can leave me a message down below, beep, beep, beep. Plus, you could share my videos with your family or friends, and don't forget the notification bell, and check out my playlist. And you can also find me on Instagram at 1995 Starlight, or on Facebook, and that is Kathy with a K Dingman Starlight. Thank you for watching. This is Starlight. Namaste. This is Starlight. Love, light, and peace.